All right, everybody, welcome into another episode of the Cogni-Thrive podcast. My wife's giving me a hard time today because I'm having trouble with words. But today we're going to talk about how do you know when you have a problem as opposed to just normal aging, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
Like when you're having problems with words.
That's right. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Cogni-Thrive podcast, where we help you understand the signs of early cognitive decline and the many ways available to keep your brain healthy. Judy Pritchard is a certified cognitive coach with more than 30 years of experience, and her company, Cogni-Thrive, provides comprehensive tools to support cognitive resilience as you age. Join Judy and her husband, Philip, as they continue to spread the message that dementia is not definite.
Okay, guys, we are back, and today we're going to talk about knowing the difference between having an actual issue as opposed to just normal aging, because that's what we all want to think. This is just normal aging. I'm fine. So, Judy, tell us a little bit about what are the differences? How do we know?
Oh, that's a great question. And that's probably the number one question I get. First of all, I want you to stop thinking normal aging as related to brain decline. Just because your age is just because you're getting older doesn't mean you should accept that your brain is going to slow down and stop. It's not. It doesn't have to. Your brain's a muscle. And the only reason that everyone thinks aging includes normal slowing down of your brain is because that's what we've always accepted. But we now know that you can do something differently, and you can exercise your brain just like you do your arms or your legs. And you want to maintain your physical abilities. You want to do that with your brain too. So in general, though, what's always been the accepted norms, if you will, is if you are having problems with your memory or completing daily tasks that you usually do, then to the point where others are noticing it, that's a serious issue. If it's to the point where you're concerned about it, that's a concern too. But I challenge you to take that even further. Don't wait for it to become there. Don't wait for it. You should be in the know of how well is your brain working. So don't sit back and wait for something bad to happen.
So I'm really having trouble.
You are. So should you be concerned about that?
Yeah. Should I be concerned? Yeah. Like, how do you really know? Is there some major thing that's a red flag for sure? I mean, I know you say if you feel like you're having problems. I think we all feel like we're having problems at some point or another.
Yeah. If you're noticing that things are getting harder for you to do, technology is a big area that people start struggling with more often. Financial things, making a decision, even if it's just a basic, I'm trying to plan a party. How do I even get started?
What about where to eat dinner?
Depends. Is it you and I on a Friday night? Mm-hmm.
Is it a typical married couple?
You pick. If it's getting to the point where you're concerned, then seek out an answer. But also be careful when you're seeking out answers in that you want to also educate yourself. So get answers for yourself too, and make sure that you know who you're talking to and what their background is on understanding cognition and your brain health.
So a good place to start would be with someone like you.
Yeah,
who is a certified cognitive coach who can kind of start with that basic assessment like we talk about that we offer to just give you a basis of where your brain's functioning, because you can kind of take that cloud of uncertainty away pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor, no. So I won't give you an official diagnosis, but I can let you know, hey, I can give you some standardized tests. I can give you also some functional assessments, and some informal tests too, based on what your feedback is, and give you some ideas on, let's get some other things checked out. And I can help guide you to those specialists that you may want to go to, such as have a pharmacist review all your medications, because a lot of times some problems or changes that people are having cognitively can be drilled back to medications. And think about it. In today's world, we do have the ability to go to different specialists for different types of problems. The problem with that is not every physician you go to is going to review the entire list of medications you're on.
Right.
And know and understand all the different side effects that they could have on each other or on you. So your best bet is to go to your pharmacist and ask them to check all that out. So that would be the first thing I would recommend for you to do if you came to me.
Yeah.
Is go to your pharmacist. Let's get all this checked out. Next thing, let's get labs done, not just your standard labs.
Yeah.
But you also want to get additional labs. So you want to make sure that you're not just checking your blood sugar, but you're also checking your blood insulin levels. You're checking all the different vitamin levels, because all of those have impacts on how well your brain is functioning. So there's a lot of things that we would go through when you came to me first that are easy to manage processes to get things checked. So you want to go through your checklist and see, are all these easy things taken care of? And if they're all good and you're still having problems, then it might be time to go further.
Right. So what I'm hearing is it's pretty much a person by person assessment.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. Some people can handle stress better than others. Some people can multitask. I'm a multitasker. If I don't have at least 5 projects going, I don't know what to do. Some people can't function like that. So you really have to know yourself. And just like with anything else, you know yourself.
Well, and to know if there's a difference.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to realize too, if you've been ignoring your own concerns, it could get to the point where you don't recognize it, but maybe your closest loved one does.
Right.
And so having that open conversation and honest conversation is really important too.
Yeah. So I've heard you tell people before, hit my microphone. I've heard you tell people before, it's basically, when something is impairing your activities of daily living, like when just a normal day thing, you're doing things that you're like, okay, this is kind of really affecting my life. It's when you may have some serious issues.
Yeah, so it's the difference of walking out the door and forgetting your car keys and knowing where to find them, where you put them. That could just be an organization thing.
Yeah.
Or that you are doing too many things that you're trying to juggle at once. Your brain's not really made to multitask 4 and 5 things at a time.
Right.
It's not.
Right.
Or when you find your keys, are you finding them in the ice cream container in your freezer? That's a more serious issue.
Right.
One of the common symptoms that people will tell me, my clients will tell me, is that it has to do with driving. And they're driving someplace they've driven 100 times. Excuse me, but all of a sudden, it's like they have no idea where they are. They don't know where they were going. They don't know exactly what to do. And they literally, I've had several literally describe it in the same way. It's almost like a bubble popped. And all of a sudden they've lost all concept of where they were going and what they were doing. But then it'll come back just as fast. That's a warning sign that there might be something more serious going on.
Yeah.
More so than, you or I driving home and I don't really remember what's been going on the last 3 miles because I was, listening to a podcast or something like that. So your focused attention wasn't exactly on the route.
Right.
It's more of not really knowing where you are. And it's that terrifying feeling. It's almost like when you wake up in a hotel and you, for that split second, have no idea where you are and you have to reorient yourself.
Right.
It's kind of like that.
And again, Cogni-Thrive here, our organization that we have started is really trying to get the message out about getting that cognitive assessment, getting the groundwork put in place so that you can take control of your future brain activity.
Absolutely.
And if you do have signs of dementia or early cognitive decline, there are so many things that can be done for it. And at the very least, you have someone in your corner who understands it and can answer questions for you and just make you feel more confident about it.
Absolutely. And if you do get diagnosed and you do go through the process, that's not the end of the game.
Right.
Even if it's mild cognitive impairment is basically that you can still do your daily responsibilities, but you are struggling more.
Yeah.
And even if you're diagnosed with that, it doesn't have to progress past that. In fact, a majority of the time it doesn't, unless you start sinking into believing that you shouldn't be doing things and you stop doing.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing you can do is stop doing.
Right.
You have to keep your brain active.
And I know even with some of the clients you worked with and still work with that actually have dementia, you're still doing things with them now that are keeping them very active, very functional, still living on their own, still doing what they want to do.
Absolutely.
Because you're giving them tools
Yep.
and you're able to just give them and their family the confidence to let them keep doing.
Absolutely. A lot of times, most times, it's more about understanding what's happening in their brain and understanding how to work around that to still get the job done that you want to do.
Right.
And I say job, it could be recreation, it could be learning golf, but you can't keep up with your strokes. So I teach you an adaptive approach, or I get you an adaptive tool. And
Right.
it's things like that we specialize in, and we're here to help.
Yeah. So listen, guys, check out Cogni-Thrive.com. That's Cogni-Thrive.com. Look, I'm going to put a nifty graphic up. There it is.
Excellent.
So you can find out more about what we do. You can get your cognitive assessment there. You can book Judy to come speak to your group. She consults with assisted livings. Anybody that is trying to build a better environment for brain health.
Yeah.
That is our mission.
Yep, we need to all embrace it, and because we don't have to have a future like our grandparents and parents have had.
That's right, because dementia is not definite.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, everybody.
All right, guys, be sure to subscribe to our podcast, and we will catch you on the next one. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening, and remember, we are not physicians, and you should always consult your doctor about what treatment is best for you. Please visit www.cogni-thrive.com to learn more about our services or to book Judy to speak at your next event.